Hey, Cass.
Hi. We're back.
Oh my God. And finally.
It's been a while. We haven't filmed for a while.
I know.
And a lot's happened.
Well, we had a lot of technical issues.
We did.
Oh my God. Hopefully we look different.
Yes. Well, we're still in the healing phase.
Correct.
Don't judge.
This bitch with a hat.
I've been going through it. My head is like the size of a baseball, but it's
really
fine.
not. It used to be.
It was. It was giving Capricorn energy.
She came out of surgery and I was like, wow, it's really giving rising Capricorn. Anyway, welcome back to Girls to Women.
My best friend, she a real bad bitch, got her own money. She don't need no nigga on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks and she's working. She throw it out and come back in. That's my best friend.
Okay, so first and foremost, besides the surgery, because we're going to get into that.
Yes.
We finally have professional gear.
Woo! Oh, it only took, what, like 3 months or something?
And we tried a few episodes ago to get this up and running and it just didn't work.
Thanks, Bali.
Yeah, so shout out to our Winnie Bluebell. She set up everything
Yeah,
for
we've got
us.
an EP now. Executive producer.
I know, I had no idea what was going on. But
I know.
like, we're on a professional camera. We've got professional microphones.
We
so
do.
No more of you sliding into our DMs saying you can't hear us.
I know, right? The sound is good now, so like...
We do
yeah.
apologize.
We're trying our best all the time, but hopefully this is good.
Yes, very, very happy. But hot topic of the day today.
Very hot topic.
The truth about surgeries in Korea.
This is...
Dun, dun. Honestly, why are we
is a big-
talking about this?
Well, if you didn't know, all over our socials, we got some surgery in Korea. It was only supposed to be like a little nip and tuck, but like, you know, once you're there and like...
But it was though. That
It
to me,
was.
I still think that's a small thing that
It
we
was
did.
very small. We did. It wasn't like intensive. We weren't
Yeah.
on general anesthetic. We were just, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it all. But like, yeah, this is all about the truth behind Korea, why everyone goes there for, you know, especially eye surgery.
Yes.
And
They're the best at what they do.
they are so good. And why we recommend it.
Yes. So we started off, how many months ago? It actually happened quite quickly.
In terms of like the whole process.
The whole process was quite quick.
Oh, it was actually.
It actually was really quick.
Wasn't it within like a month?
It literally was in a month. So we manifested getting
really
this
did.
stuff done. Okay. Our next video is going to be about manifestation because we really did the most.
It was in November when I went to the gym with you. Literally
Done.
from this moment, this is the first time we met, bear in mind. And we were like, oh, we'd love to go and get like a little like eye procedure. Do you remember?
So true. And I was like, we're going to be doing collaborations with plastic surgeons and 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
And
we said Korea because Korea is known for eye surgery. So we
look
were
where
like,
we are now.
I know.
That's wild.
I know.
Okay, so let's fill you in, right? So for the longest time, I've wanted to have a blepharoplasty, upper eye bleph, because God bless him, I've got my dad's eyes, but he's got these little downward eyes, you know, very Chilean, okay? But it just kind of like droops the face. And so I was like, okay, well, I can either wait until I'm older and get it done. You know, in Australia, you can get it covered by Medicare because if you lose your sight.
Of course.
But I'm like, I also am all about hot girl summer all the time,
Absolutely.
being
Yeah.
as sexy as possible for as long as possible.
Yes.
And so I'm, like you, very much into preventative.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's much better.
Yeah.
So that's what I've always wanted. And I've always been kind of obsessed with Bella Hadid's transformation.
She got the foxy eye
She
lift.
did the foxy eye lift and
And-
she just looks snatched.
Yeah. She looks very snatched.
Like,
yeah.
that's completely, like, okay, for her, it was very dramatic. So different person.
Yes, very dramatic.
And I was like, I wonder what that could do for me.
Yeah.
You saw me, I started to freak out a little bit because I was like, what if this changes my complete look,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's always a risk, unfortunately, that you do have to take.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the outcome.
Yeah.
But it made all the difference.
It made a
Yeah.
very, like, subtle but big.
Very
Subtle
subtle,
but big
yeah,
difference.
but big, yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because like I got so used to your face that I'm like, is it that different? And then we look at old videos,
Right.
and I didn't even know what you'd be
Like
on
from
about
4 weeks ago.
Yeah, honestly, no. When you were like, oh no, my face was down, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But now I can see it is more lifted now,
Yeah.
and I just think it's so subtle,
Yeah.
and such like a little tweak. Like,
Yeah.
why not?
Literally. And, like, Cassie's eyes are bigger. That's
Well, so
literally.
my thing is, honestly, since I was like probably 16, I wanted to get an upper bleph.
Yeah.
For basically, this is going to sound so ridiculous, but like when I used to wear eyeliner, I couldn't go across my eyes because it would just like shut my eyes off and it would just look a little bit angry. I look an angry man. So I was like, okay, I don't want to look angry anymore. Plus, I'm the same as you. Like, I'm all about preventative aging. Like, I'm going to be 33 next month. Let's not mess around. I'm not a spring chicken.
I still think it's a spring chicken, but that's a debate for another day.
And just like, I just wanted a little refresh and like to look.
I think
youthful.
every decade always have like a really nice refresh.
Yes. So I'm in the early 30s. It's like, look, I just want a little refresh. So I waited till I was this age.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to just see what it's about. So yeah, mine was just like to make the lid a little bigger so I have more space for makeup. It's still very swollen. It's going to go down. Oh, Milo.
Hi,
This is Milo. So we'll show you the full result as well. But like also, I did canthoplasty, which basically... So mine's the opposite. My eyes would go slightly up because I'm from Asian descent, of course. So as much as I love it, I just felt like if it was just brought down a touch, this is what the surgeon recommended anyway.
Yeah.
She was like, it will just open your eyes a little bit more and give you a more like friendly, youthful appearance. And I'm all about youth.
Yeah.
So that's what I did with my eyes. So we kind of had opposite procedures, which is quite funny.
Because I had bigger, rounder eyes, and now they're more almond and snatched.
Yeah, and I had smaller eyes, and now they're also more almond.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got those procedures, and we also got some nano fat grafting.
The PRP fat grafting with our plasma. They took some fat from our legs.
Yes.
Mixed it up in a centrifuge and then injected it into our faces.
Think of it as the natural filler because
That
it's
lasts.
your literal own fat.
Literally.
Yeah, and it does last. It lasts
10
a lot.
to 15 years, babe.
Yeah, and you can hold on to say 60 to 70% of the fat.
Yeah.
Or if you're like me, fucking 100%.
Yeah, she's really retained the fat,
Yeah.
which is crazy because this I believe is my result now for the fat, which I'm really happy with.
I think it will be, yeah.
Yeah, and I've still got like, so I did the cheeks, the inner cheeks here to the temples, and then they put fat into my eyelids here. So everything that I had done, I had an upper blepharoplasty, a line correction. So when I say line correction, like Korean middle schoolers get this done on their lunch break. It's so common.
It's
so
such a small procedure.
cutting your eye, you're awake, you don't feel anything. You are awake so they can see the line. They get you to open and close your eyes. It was a little bit trippy for us.
It was.
But it's just, so if you look at your eyelid, you'll probably see you've got maybe multiple lines or maybe you only have a monolid, which is what people get corrected as well. For me, I had like 2 lines and that kind of ages you. So she just made it into 1 line. So I might actually go closer to the camera so I can see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we might pop like a photo. I don't know if you're comfortable, but I'll put my healing photo up there for you so you can see what I look like.
It's alright. We'll put it like
Day
around
one.
here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the day one.
Oh, honestly, okay.
It's interesting.
So this is the line. It's still really raw because I'm only 4 weeks out on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're not even 4 weeks out yet.
Yeah, so 4 weeks out on Tuesday, you can see all the volume in my face is really lovely. It's still here on my temples, and then the fat in my eyelid. The excess skin was cut here, and then I had a foxy eye lift. So I've got cuts here and here in my head, and that lifted the brows. So you can see when I'm straight on, that my look is quite snatched now, which is great. As opposed to before, it was quite downward. So they've lifted my face and put volume in my face, which I'm so happy with. Like, honestly.
Honestly, it's like the smallest tweaks, but they
Game-changing.
make the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, like when we were having our consultation, I was getting a little bit nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is going to be a lot. And I was freaking out a little bit. But we'll go into like our whole experience because we went to, have we said Nana, right? And they met more expectations than I could have even imagined.
They're like family at this
literally,
point. Like, we text them every day.
No,
literally, we have a
every
group
day.
chat with them. We text them every day. So Nana Plastic Surgery in Gangnam District in Seoul, South Korea. That is obviously who we recommend. We worked with Dr. Park.
Dr. Song-E Park.
Song-E Park.
Yeah.
She does the celebrities. She does the influencers. That's why we trusted her with our faces.
Yeah, we really did. And she wasn't like talking about crazy differences. She was like, oh, I think this would be natural and this. I don't want to go too much.
Yeah.
Like she really seemed to care about natural, which is good.
And that's what she specializes in. She specializes in natural work because there's nothing worse, especially at our age, if you get work done and then all of a sudden you look 45 instead of 25,
Yes.
which is the aim.
The aim, right? The aim is to look younger, not older.
Yeah, because you can be overworked.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
100%.
And we didn't want that.
Yeah.
And that's for me when I see Bella Hadid, as much as I love the transformation, she's very snatched.
Yes,
you
yes.
know?
She pulled it quite tight.
Yeah, so she looks older than what she is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you
Right?
could have gone for that look, but like you
Exactly.
said, no, just subtle.
And she wouldn't have even. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh, do I even do the foxy eye lift? Like I'm a little bit nervous that is going to change my look. And then Dr. Park was very reassuring, and she was like, I would actually recommend that you do a bit of a natural foxy.
Yeah.
As
She
soon as she
recommended
said
it.
that. As soon
Yeah,
as she
you're like,
recommended it, I was like,
done.
we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Absolutely.
And I'm so happy.
Yeah.
But I felt so comfortable with them. And you know that I didn't ask any questions.
Right. There's me. I don't know why, because usually like you're type A and I'm type B, but in this scenario, it was the opposite. I was
Literally.
like asking 1,000 questions. I was like,
You
what
even
about
asked
this?
questions for me.
Yeah. I was like, we want to know like a bit more about these procedures. Like this is actual plastic surgery.
Yeah.
So I think when we think about plastic surgery, we're like, oh, it's just like a little trip at the park. Like it's, you know,
That says
when
a
we
lot
were
about us.
recovering, we soon realized that it's, oh, wow, we got some stuff done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, they were very reassuring. They, from start to finish, like even going in there, it was beautiful.
Oh my God, it's literally the bougiest plastic
So
surgery I've ever
bougie.
seen.
And there's like 500 clinics in Gangnam, right? So Korea, they know what's
Then
they know
exactly,
what's
they're known for this kind of surgery, especially eye surgery.
good. Right. And we actually were at another clinic for your neck.
My scar removal, yeah.
But this Nana was like the nicest one by far. Like it
Oh my
was
God.
so beautiful.
The waiting room, you're in a library cafe with like a gold spiral staircase
and it's so
sofas.
tall.
It's gorgeous.
And they came and they were like, "Oh my God, girls, you
Yeah.
look so good."
They're literal family, and
They were
like
so lovely.
They have translators there for you. They take you through everything step by step. You meet
Yeah.
the surgeon. You go over the plans. They make you see. You look in the mirror. They're like, okay, this is what this would do, and this is what we recommend, and this
Yeah.
is how you would look.
They pull up
Are you
your face.
comfortable? Yeah, they pull up your face. They do your before photos. They do your after photos. You do professional aftercare as well. Then they prep you.
Yeah.
They prepped us for surgery.
Oh
and we went
my
in.
gosh, it was all so
I was
quick.
about 5 hours.
Yeah,
You
I was
were
3.5.
You were 3.5.
And you were 5. And I went in first and I was like freaking out. So they did say, yeah, we're going to be awake for the upper blepharoplasty. And I was freaking out
Yeah.
because I'm so squeamish. I was just like, really? And they were like, no, you're fine. You won't feel it. You
Yeah.
might feel it if you know what I mean, but you won't feel pain.
Yeah.
So
like a little bit of a tugging.
It was like a burn almost. Like I could kind of feel the line being burnt in and I was like, oh, fuck. But because we were on, what's it called? We had
The twilight sedation. Is
yeah.
that
So
right?
yeah, twilight. So which means that you're awake, but you're kind of in a haze. And
Yeah, like you could still respond to instruction.
yeah, but it was very trippy. I just remember all these colors were coming towards me, and it was kind of nice. And she just kept saying, "Open your eyes,
Close your eyes, open your eyes.
open your eyes." And I remember I was freaking out because I was like, "Is she gonna say it in Korean?"
Yeah, she was like, no, I'm going to say it in English, Cassie.
I was like, "Oh shit, okay." And then after that, I don't remember them saying this to me because I was pretty out, but they would have said like, okay, now you're going to go to sleep. And then that is when they would have gotten some fat from my thighs, which the fat they took was minute. It's literally like half a cup. Do our face, the facial fat grafting, and then they would have finished the eyes. And then for yours was the other way around, wasn't it?
I started with the line.
Yeah.
And then I have no idea what happened after that. All I remember
Yeah.
is that they did say, they're like, great, we're going to put you to sleep now. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I was like, it's all done now.
But you didn't know that the stitches were in your head.
That was on me because I didn't ask any questions.
Yeah, we did not know where the stitches were.
I didn't ask any questions about the Foxy eye lift. They were like, do you have any questions? I'm like, no, you just do
I
what
trust
you need
you."
to do. And then 5 days later, because I wasn't allowed to wash my hair. And that should have been a big ticker for me. Like, duh, Tash, why aren't you allowed to wash my hair?
She came out and her hair was covered
In
in antiseptic.
I looked like an angry Chinese granddad.
It was like all out here, and I was like,
because my eyes were really closed. I was
Yeah.
really swollen. My
Yeah.
hair was like all When I show you the photo, you will agree with me.
because
Okay.
she was like, "How is your hair so nice still?"
Yeah.
'Cause
She had perfect hair, and I just had this rat's nest. And I was like, oh, there must be something in my head. So 5 days later, when I was allowed to wash it, I kind of put my fingers through there because I was like, why am I getting like headaches, pain? And I was like, oh my God, Cassie, what is this? And I had 5 staples on either side of my head. I had 10 staples. I felt like Frankenstein. Like if you put clips on me, I would be like, zzz.
Imagine if you just didn't know you have staples in your head. That's crazy.
I know. I've never had staples in my life, so that was the first.
Neither
for me.
have I, yeah.
But when they removed it, when we had our aftercare 7 days later,
Yeah.
it was painless.
Yeah, it was great. I was again because I'm a warrior.
Right.
I was worried about that, but they were literally holding my hand, rubbing my leg the whole
Yeah.
time, and then the eyes really weren't that sore.
No, not at all.
The one thing that did hurt a little bit was when they took the stitches out of
the thighs? Yeah,
it was a
'cause-
bit of a tug, but like really not that painful.
What would you call that? Our bikini line is
Bikini
where there's a
line, yeah.
slight incision to go down with the cannula, I believe it's
The
called, and then
cannula.
get the fat out.
But it's very tiny. It's
Very
literally
small.
this big. So
Exactly.
the scarring for everything, I would say very minimal. We bought some scar gel, and then we did the
Bruising was a little bit hectic on the legs, so that was the one that took. Like I had
It looked like we'd been abused.
Someone's gone ham on the MMA with me.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
and then because you had the like, but here's the thing: I swelled really bad. I'm still pretty swollen. You bruised pretty bad. You're not that swollen, so we kind of had opposites effects, which shows a lot about everyone's different. Everyone shows differently with results and with the healing. But they did a lot of red light therapy.
Yes.
We had
We had a lot of aftercare. Hyperbaric oxygen chamber.
Yes, which is very, very interesting and
you lay
fun.
flat. It's kind of like an airplane pressure, and you're in there for I think 30 minutes. We're in there.
30 minutes,
pressurizes to help with the swelling to go down.
It's like it's like when when you're on a plane and your ears pop. Yeah, it was a very strange feeling. I was like, whoa, this is weird.
I was singing karaoke the whole time.
I know. I was just there, like thinking about everything that happened, and I was like, life's crazy.
Yeah,
in a good way. Like. And the funny thing is, like, we were supposed to rest a lot in Korea, and we ended up just
we didn't rest at all.
No, we loved just exploring, and we couldn't see. So, I'm not trying to scare anyone about this procedure, but like, your vision is a bit blurry. My vision's still blurry now.
Our vision was blurred.
Yeah, fully blurred. We were at the train station, and like, these people were trying to help us because we did not know where we were.
Yeah, and we're going on adventure days when we're supposed to be resting, doing like 30,000 steps in a day. Of course, that's what we do.
Because we just like, we're like, oh,
that's just us.
Whatever.
It's fine.
I know.
That's what we do.
But it's good. At least we kept the blood moving.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so that's good for the circulation.
Yeah.
But I really recommend, like, I love getting surgery in Korea because one, we didn't know anyone there.
No.
So we were comfortable to just walk around with our faces swollen, our little UV umbrellas and a bucket hat on and just be like, fine, whatever.
Because we could not wear sunglasses, which we did not realize this was going to be the case. And we couldn't wear any kind of tight hat. So like,
but you couldn't do that because of the fat, not because of the eyes. Yeah. It's because if you do PRP fat grafting, which I highly recommend, if you're going to do anything to your face, get some fat put in there.
Absolutely.
Right? So you can't have anything that's going to put pressure on your face.
Yeah, even now I shouldn't be wearing this, but it's okay. We're nearly 4 weeks in.
Right.
But yeah, right after you can't. And so like, I wore a hat straight away because they hadn't told me yet. And so I had a hat on for 5 hours, which I shouldn't have done. And then I was freaking out. I was like, oh no, I messed it up.
But it's fine. It's definitely fine. So do you want to describe what you had, what yours is exactly called?
Yeah, so for the face, it was like the PRP fat grafting. I got it into my forehead because I had like a little... In the middle of my forehead, there was a slight hollowing, and that just comes with age. It's normal. Obviously, temples, and then my cheeks in the middle. They didn't want to go too high they didn't want to go too low because they were like, we want to keep your kind of like shape. And then under my eyes, they did something called fat repositioning. So that just means that like I had a little bit of I don't know what they called it. Was it bunching or something? Where like my fat had kind of...
It's just not placed, like, I wouldn't say in the right area, but it's not in it wasn't placed in the most flattering area.
It was like a little bulge.
Evened out.
Yeah, there was a bulge of fat under my eye. Honestly, very like minute. You'd have to really stare at my eyes to see it. But they were like, we can just like reposition this out and like have it as smooth.
It's so smooth.
It's basically ridiculous. Like getting filler under your eyes. So I did
like
that.
way better.
Yeah, way better.
I'm like every day I look at your under eyes, I'm like, wow.
And longer lasting as well.
It's crazy.
They're still pretty like swollen at the moment. And then I got upper blepharoplasty to like increase the size of my lid, and then a lateral canthoplasty, which basically extends your eyes out and just makes them a little bit bigger. I think that's it. Is that
lower canthoplasty?
Yeah, so it's called a lateral lower. So it like pulls them out and down.
Nice.
Yeah, I think
that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
See, we always say that's it. Yeah. That's all that we did. So we had a few things done on our face, but again, it lasts 10 to 15 years.
And that was like multiple procedures.
Exactly. And dollar cost average that. Like that makes sense because you have girls out here getting thread lifts, which last 6 months to 9 months maximum.
If you're lucky, longer. But like if like a normal person, you're not.
You metabolize the thread.
Yeah.
And then what? It's like 2,000 to 3,000 every time you get threads.
3,000, yeah.
A thread lift. What is the point of that?
USD as well.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I said this in a previous episode. I'm always the girl that's like, if you can cut and snip me up and that lasts 20 years over something that's going to last 2 months.
Absolutely.
But it's 5x the cost, do that.
Absolutely. Because another thing, it's like you don't want to constantly have to go and get filler.
Exactly.
And all
this
stuff.
Toxic.
Now we don't even need to do filler and Botox. We went for like a little, to the beauty clinic the other day, and she was like, no, you don't need to do any Botox. And I was like, amazing. No crow's feet, nothing.
That's what you did the fat grafting for.
So yeah, okay, I might look a little crazy now, but like in the future, it's like, wow, we can chill.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we're all about maintaining youthfulness with minimal effort.
Yes.
This is the thing, right? We want minimal effort.
Yeah. Well, that's
the kind of shit you got to do if you want to be one of those minimal effort girlies or natural. It's like, yeah, I'm so natural.
So natural beauty.
So not made at all.
It's giving K-face.
It's literally K-face.
Which we saw so many people there just have the most amazing skin and faces.
Amazing.
So yeah, if you are thinking about getting eyelid surgery, a blepharoplasty, some fat grafting, a foxy eye lift, just something on your face, we both definitely recommend Korea and Nana plastic surgery in particular. Like
100%.
The whole experience was phenomenal.
The translators were amazing as well. So we had Iris looking after us. She was so lovely. Oh, we miss her. And Alina
and Jenny as well.
Those three were so lovely. They made us feel really comfortable, especially someone like me. I'm a hypochondriac, and I felt
it's true. And Cassie chose out Dr. Park anyway before she was assigned to us.
She was recommended, but I had already chose her because I went through the 20-something doctors they had.
I didn't. She did.
And I was like, right. I was like, girl, I will pick us a surgeon, and I will ask if she could do us both. And
she did.
She did.
And she was so great.
So great.
Yeah, highly recommend. You can also use our names as well.
Yes.
So Tash and Cassie.
Tash and Cass, or Cass and Tash.
You will get a discount if you go to Nana. We are planning to go back in about 9 months or so, 6 to 9 months. We want to get a few little fat grafting. Like, I'd love to just get some fat into my boobs. But yeah, like now that we've had one amazing session with them, I
would just go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I trust them with everything.
Yeah.
And if you have any particular questions, please DM us or drop them in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will answer anything and everything. Yeah. But if you want like an A-grade experience, Nana Plastic Surgery and Dr. Park,
honestly,
all the way. Songy Park, amazing. All the way.
Natural results, beautiful clinic, amazing people, friendly, good area, Gangnam, everything A-star.
Yeah. And here's also the thing, right? Because a lot of people go to Korea for surgery. Always remember you get what you pay for.
We saw, right, eyelid work. I don't know if I should say this.
Don't say the name of the place.
No. I just meant, I don't know if I should say the price because people might go.
No, you should.
Yeah, it was like $500
for eye surgery.
I'm sorry, but like, you're going to get a $500 job for that. So remember that. You shouldn't be paying.
Might not even be from a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, like if it was anything less than $2,000, I'd be concerned.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, this is your face that we're talking about at the end of the day. Like, you want to be able to trust the person is certified, the clinic is amazing, like their reviews were insane. You need to know that the place you're going to, they need to charge accordingly because that's what they're worth.
Yeah.
And then be comfortable with that. Like, this is your face. This is your face card at the end of the day.
To be honest, even if it was like when I did my boobs and everything, I was researching a lot because I was like, this is my body at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then go on Real Self as well, or Purse Forum or whatever, and just have a look at the reviews for all. That's what we did as well for Nana, and they were really good. So.
Yeah, and we're super transparent. So like I said, anything that you want to know, ask us.
We will let you know. Any nitty gritty, anything, even the weirdest you want to know about the recovery, anything like squeamish, we'll share pictures, like whatever, like anything you want to know, pain levels, all of that.
Really, I did not find it painful.
Neither did I, but I mean the after and everything.
It was just the bruising on the legs.
The walking was hard. Like, we still managed to walk 30,000 steps, but it was painful. We had to keep sitting down. You have to sleep upright, which is kind of uncomfortable. Like me, I'm a side sleeper. I'm still sleeping like that. Yeah. Well, with 2 pillows.
Yeah.
And of course, the vision is still blurry to this day a little bit, but like
mine's not. Yeah.
I got the quite hectic. My scars are inside my eye. Bear that in mind.
Yeah.
And I've got a bit of like overcorrection here, so like there is stuff to bear in mind. It does take a while, and it can take up to like a year to see the full result.
Yeah.
So patience is key, and I need to tell myself this because every day I'm like, I look like
guys, is this normal?
Yeah,
is this normal? Is this normal? When is this swelling going to go down?
On, like, so many freaking eye drops. It's actually insane.
Yeah, we're only, like I said, 4 weeks on Tuesday, which is in a few days. So
yeah, I know. I need to keep telling myself
that's us
this.
now, but you'll start to see our faces like really settle into the next episodes anyway. But yeah, we just wanted to share our whole experience.
Yes.
So like, you girls know what to do as well. You know, like and subscribe. Okay.
For more juicy content.
Yeah, literally. But like, ask us anything about
anything and everything.
Clinic,
we are transparent AF.
I just want to say, like, don't, just go get it done. If you
want
to do it, just go get it done.
Do it.
Just do it. I wanted to do it for so long, and I'm so freaking happy.
So proud that we just went and did it.
Nana made my eye dreams come true.
Oh, I love that. They made the QA beauty dreams come true.
Thank you, Dr. Park.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye.